Before the stage lit up, Jungkook hugged Jimin silently, caught on camera, in the darkness of the stage that was still covered with curtains, just before the bright lights lit up and the roar of thousands of ARMY voices broke the sky of the concert. There is one moment that is not caught by the eyes of many people. The moment happened only in silence. In sacred moments before history was rewritten by two names that are already too familiar to the hearts of millions of fans. Jimin and Jungkook. An internal documentation camera belonging to the HYB production team captured the unexpected. Within a few seconds, Jungkook's figure was clearly seen approaching Jimin, standing not far from the back of the stage. With a face that looked calm but eyes that implied something deep, Jungkook called Jimin's name in an almost whispered voice. Jimin, who initially looked nervous, with a small trembling hand from holding the emotional weight of the big stage in front of him, he turns around and finds Jungkook already so close. Without saying a word, Jungkook hugged Jimin. Not a brief hug like a greeting or a formality between friends, but a hug that indicates a depth of feeling that is not easily expressed in sentences. The camera captured the moment in silence. Only the faint sound of the crew's movements and the sound of a microphone still being adjusted were heard. But among all that technical noise, Jungkook's embrace of Jimin was precisely the center of gravity that shook the whole atmosphere, according to one unnamed stage crew member. The moment occurred just 2 minutes before Jimin and Jungkook took the stage in a highly classified collaboration special. The two are said to be preparing to perform a new duet song full of emotional charge. Jimin, who is known to be a perfectionist and sensitive to the quality of performance, was seen to withstand great pressure on the night. Jungkook, who knew Jimin better than anyone, saw the signs from a distance. Without hesitation, he approached. "It's like they're speaking in a language that only they understand," said one of the stylists who witnessed the incident directly from behind the stage. Shortly after the hug, the curtain opened. The first beam of light illuminates the stage. Jimin and Jungkook appeared side by side, but only the most observant ARMY noticed that Jimin's eyes looked a little red and that Jungkook's pace seemed more steady as he shouldered not just his own role, but the emotional burden of his best friend. The hashtag Jungkook hug before show immediately dominated the global Twitter trend a few hours after the recorded video was circulated. Armies from around the world flooded social media with emotional responses, haru, and admiration for the closeness of the two that can no longer be denied as a mere professional relationship or casual friendship. One hug, one strength. Jungkook knows when to show up without being asked. And Jimin knows that he is never alone, wrote a Brazilian ARMY man whose post went viral within minutes. Furthermore, fans speculated that the song performed that night did have a personal meaning for both. The lyrics speak of loss, longing, and a sense of trust that persists even as the world changes. Some fans who are fluent in Korean said that the lyrics sung by Jungkook contain the phrase, "If you falter, I'll be your handle," which made the atmosphere of the concert feel much more intimate and emotional than usual. To date, HYB has not made any official comment regarding the video of the hug, but the fact that the footage ended up circulating actually made the public ask, is this another form of willful omission by the agency? Is HYB starting to make room for the unspoken stories that have always been just whispers among fans? The relationship between Jimin and Jungkook, affectionately called Jungkook by the ARMY community, has long been in the spotlight. But it's moments like these that can't be engineered. A hug before going on stage, a meaningful look behind the stage, and the way they take care of each other even in silence, gives us all a single conviction that there is something more than just colleagues between them. After the concert was over and the roar of the crowd faded, Jimin and Jungkook returned to their dressing room. Backstage cameras that previously captured their embrace before going on stage now show a completely different atmosphere. The two sat side by side on a long sofa, wearing black robes that covered their concert costumes that were still wet with sweat. Jimin leaned his head against Jungkook's shoulder, silent and brooding. Jungkook didn't say anything, but his gestures spoke volumes. He rubbed Jimin's head gently, like trying to convey that tonight they had passed something very big and that he was proud, according to one of the managers present in the room. Jimin did not speak immediately after the concert. He cried quietly, without a voice. The cry is not because of sadness, but out of relief and maybe also gratitude, said the manager, who has known Jimin since his debut. Jimin knew he could escape because Jungkook was there. Jungkook himself remained calm. When asked how he felt about that night, he simply replied short, "I just want her to know that she's not alone." The sentence was simple, but it was able to make the staff around the room look down, holding Haru. The recording of Jungkook's embrace was originally only for internal documentation. But someone on HYB's internal media team felt that the moment was too honest and too beautiful to keep to itself. So the recording, with the tacit consent of one of the creative directors known to be close to the members, posted to the official social media team with the code, "Let the Army Feel It." At exactly 3 a.m., without an official announcement, the video was uploaded in black and white format on the BTS official YouTube account. There is no dramatic title, only the inscription, "Moments Before the Light." Within minutes, armies from around the world were making thousands of comments, translating Jimin's expressions, dissecting the meaning of Jungkook's embrace, and spread the message across all platforms. HYB panicked. The digital manager received a call from the head of the branding division asking why the video went up without a press release. However, when real-time data showed that the video hit 10 million views in 3 hours and made Jungkook-related merchandise instantly sold out, they changed the tone. "Leave it there. Don't disturb the flow," said the official at the end of the conversation. Interestingly, RM watched the video while on a Zoom call with the production staff of his solo project. He paused for a moment after seeing the hug, then said, "There they are. That's Jimin and Jungkook. It's been like that for a long time." Suga, in a Weverse live broadcast the next day, alluded to the video with a chuckle. "I saw that hug. Well, don't ask me why we all knew it was going viral." Jean and J-Hope, who were watching from a military base, each sent a teary-eyed emoji to BTS's chat group. In an exclusive post-concert interview with a major Korean magazine, Jungkook was asked about the hug. He smiled briefly and replied, "There are things that can only be understood through hugs. Jimin taught me that a long time ago." Meanwhile, Jimin, who is usually quite chatty when interviewed, just nodded and said, "If there was no hug that night, maybe I would have fallen." He added, "But because he exists, I can fly." Those words, just one paragraph in a long interview, nevertheless became the main quote shared by the media around the world. Not only trending, the Army also initiated various emotional movements after the video was released. In some countries, fans held watch parties while collecting donations for charity on behalf of Jimin and Jungkook. In South Korea alone, one of the largest digital billboards in Gangnam ordered by fans, replaying the video of the hug for a whole day. Interspersed with the message reads, "In one embrace, there is a quiet world. Thank you, Jimin. Thank you, Jungkook." The hug may only last a few seconds, but its impact will last forever in the Army's memory. Behind the lights, among the beating heart before the first step, these two figures showed the world that love, understanding, and courage sometimes do not need words. Jimin and Jungkook, in his silence, have shouted the loudest that they remain one, keep each other, and remain the warmest part of each other's hearts. Now, with the video spreading and the Army's enthusiasm continuing to soar, one thing is clear: behind the magnificent stage, there is a small story that actually means the most. And the story of the silent embrace before the lamp lit it. It will continue to be remembered as one of the most heartfelt moments ever in BTS history.